The graveyard was silent, not the peaceful kind of silence, but the heavy kind that presses on your chest. Rows of old gravestones stretched across the hill outside Belgrade. The wind moved slowly through the trees, carrying the dry sound of leaves scraping across the ground. Dimitra walked quietly along the narrow path between the graves. She hadn't come looking for anything, just a walk, just a moment of quiet. Then she heard it, a faint sound, a whimper. Dimitra stopped. At first she thought it was the wind. The sound was weak, almost swallowed by the silence of the cemetery. Then it came again, a small, desperate yelp. Her heart tightened. "Hello?" she called softly. No answer, only the wind. Most people would have kept walking. A strange sound in a graveyard isn't exactly something you investigate, but something about that cry felt wrong. So Dimitra stepped off the path and moved deeper between the gravestones, following the sound. Again, the weak cry echoed through the quiet air. Closer now. She scanned the ground around her until something caught her eye, a disturbance in the soil. Near one of the old gravestones was a hole, a large one. From a distance, it looked like someone had dug into the earth. But as Dimitra slowly approached, she realized the movement inside the hole wasn't dirt shifting. Something inside it moved. She leaned closer and froze. A dog, curled tightly beneath a pile of soil. The animal had dug a small tunnel beneath the gravestone, trying to hide itself underground. Its eyes were wide with fear. When it saw Dimitra, it immediately shrank deeper into the hole, pressing its body against the dirt walls as if trying to disappear completely. Dimitra stood there, stunned. "Hey, it's okay," she whispered gently. The dog trembled but didn't come out. For a moment, Dimitra believed she understood what she was seeing. She had heard stories like this before. Dogs who refused to leave their owner's grave. Animals who mourn with heartbreaking loyalty. Maybe this dog had lost its human. Maybe it had dug this shelter just to stay close. The thought made her chest ache. "Poor thing," she murmured. Slowly, she crouched down near the hole and tried calling softly to the animal. The dog watched her carefully. Then something strange happened. The dog slowly crawled out of the hole, but instead of approaching Dimitra, it turned back and checked something inside the tunnel. Again, and again, almost like it was guarding something. Dimitra's curiosity grew. "What are you hiding in there?" she whispered. The dog stepped aside slightly, and when Dimitra looked deeper into the hole, her breath caught in her throat. Because this dog wasn't mourning anyone, it was protecting something far more important, and what Dimitra saw next would change everything. Dimitra leaned closer to the opening beneath the gravestone. At first, the darkness inside the small tunnel made it difficult to see anything clearly. But then something moved, tiny, fragile. A small whimper echoed from inside the dirt shelter. Puppies, several of them, curled together in the narrow space, their small bodies trembling as they tried to stay warm. Some barely had the strength to move. Their thin cries were the same desperate sound Dimitra had heard from across the graveyard. The mother dog wasn't guarding a grave. She was guarding her babies. Dimitra felt her throat tighten. The tunnel the dog had dug was barely large enough to protect them from the cold wind. The soil around them was damp, and the puppies looked weak and starving. "How long have you been here?" she whispered softly. The mother dog watched Dimitra carefully now, no longer growling, but still protective. Dimitra slowly reached into her bag and pulled out the only food she had, a small snack she had brought with her. She placed it gently on the ground. The smell reached the puppies immediately. A few of them tried to crawl toward it, but they were so weak their tiny legs shook beneath them. That was the moment Dimitra realized something terrifying. If she had not walked through the graveyard that day, these puppies might not have survived the night. She grabbed her phone with shaking hands. There was only one person she knew who could help immediately. "A local animal rescue." "Please answer," she whispered anxiously as the phone rang. Because now that she had seen them, there was no way she was leaving that family behind.